After rotting in jail for 8 long years, yes, 8 long years, out of which, during some, she was suffering the effects of terminal cancer, Sadhvi Pragya Thakur has been finally granted bail. The Bombay High Court has released Thakur, accepting that there is no material on record to prove prima facie the case against her with respect to plotting the Malegaon blast of 2008. But the question we want to ask is whether Sadhvi Pragya was made a scapegoat to fit the saffron terror theory floated by the UPA. And who answers for this massive travesty of justice which has denied Sadhvi Pragya 8 years of her life? Let's throw this open tonight. Joining us is Dr. T.A. Rahmani, President of the Muslim Political Council of India. Also with us, KTS Tulsi, MP of the Rajya Sabha and a noted lawyer. Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi of the Bharatiya Janata Party is with us. Colonel RSN, defense analyst. Let me first begin with you, Mr. KTS Tulsi. Why would you today argue against the most basic question being asked? Was Sadhvi Pragya framed by the UPA to prove its saffron theory formulation? Simple question, sir.
Well, I think it's too premature to say that, because when a prima facie finding is rendered for the purpose of grant of bail, in which an accused has been in jail for 8 years, the norm is laid down by the Supreme Court that bail will be granted. And in Mokoka, it is essential for the courts to record a finding that prima facie there is no material. But that is said for the purpose of grant of bail. It's not an order of acquittal. It's not an order on the basis of which evidence has been led and the entire process gone into. So therefore, we must not blow premature trumpets. This does not have bearing. This prima facie finding also, the courts invariably
Let me ask you a question differently. Let me ask you this question differently, Mr. Tulsi. Let me ask you, do you believe that in this case, the norm of bail has been violated? Let me ask you that question.
No, it's, we come across these cases every day when we are doing these.
Every day.
We many times feel strongly that in spite of the fact that there is zero evidence, people have spent 10 years, 12 years, 13 years, and we are still crying for bail. I think that the bail law in India is too stringent, too stringently applied.
Right.
The discretion of the courts
How convenient, sir.
deserves to be much more in favor of bail.
How convenient it is.
But the liberal jurisprudence which was propounded in the 70s has now given way to lack of concern or reduced concern.
Blame the system when it suits you. When it suits you. That's what we're hearing today. Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, no question has been answered in a more circuitous route as this one. I'm asking you, has Sadhvi Pragya been framed to prove saffron terror theory?
Rahul, as far as this case is concerned, there was only one technical, you can say, substantive allegation against Sadhvi Pragya, was just that the bike which was used was registered on her name, when ATS Maharashtra, while submitting the charge sheet, has mentioned that the bike was not under her possession since 2 years. Still, they keep on keeping her in jail, and for 6 years under the rule, 2008 to 2014, they were unable to frame a charge sheet. Now, I'm coming to the more fundamental question of the saffron terror. I would just like to say, Rahul, that this case was of September 2008. The charge sheet, first ATS charge sheet was submitted in 2011. If something conclusive the government might have agreed upon, it should be post 2011. That is after the charge sheet was submitted. But in August 2010, Chidambaram, Home Minister, says the country should be beware of saffron terror. And as early as in December 2008, he uses the term saffron terror in Rajya Sabha. And as per WikiLeaks, I'm not saying whether they are correct or not correct, but it is said that Rahul Gandhi, while discussing with the US officials, has said that this saffron terror or Hindu terror is a more serious thing. Up till now, there is no clear condemnation or categorical rejection from the Congress party. And subsequently, you remember, in January 2013, the then Home Minister Sushil Kumar Shinde uses the word Hindu Atangwad, for which he gets a praise from Hafiz Saeed. So this shows that there was something suspicious, there was a systematic political design, and in order to serve that design, there are certain things which were framed. Now they are subsequently getting flat on the floor of courts.
Rahmani Saab, would you like to respond to that? A vicious.
See, I have a very stated stand.
Conspiracy.
Don't ask me any question. I know what you are going to ask. I have a very stated stand since a long time that terrorism, whatever you call it, is a national security threat. And we must not play with terrorism for the political motives.
No, I'm asking you.
This is something very strange.
Has that happened in this case?
At some point of time,
Mr. Rahmani, has this happened in this case? Why do you find it so difficult to say yes in this case?
I cannot, because I have so many other evidences. In this very case, the jail was for 8 years. I know the cases for 14 years, 15 years, even 23 years for the small kids who were languishing in the jail for 23 years, and they were acquitted and they were proved innocent lastly. And
but they weren't jailed, sir, to prove. They weren't jailed to prove, sir, that there was something called Islamic terror. In this case, they were jailed to prove that there was something called Hindu terror, which was a figment of some very fertile political imaginations. Come on, sir.
Our security agencies,
Rahmani Saab,
for our own political ends.
Rahmani Saab, please, today do not be duplicitous. Those individuals, absolutely wrong. If they were jailed for 23 years, it's a huge travesty, and the people who jailed them must be probed and punished. But they were never jailed to prove that there was something called Islamic terror.
You did not raise a question.
They were jailed. No, we raised. Don't today try to pick on the media and shoot the messenger. This is your very, very clever ruse.
For those innocent boys.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not, sir.
You were telling
no, Malegaon 2006, we raised the media. No, excuse me. No, sir. Mr. Rahmani, don't play the victim card. Do not play the victim card. I'm only asking you a simple question. Today, come out and say that yes, if those people, unfortunately,
you are rather playing a saffron card.
No. You're playing the victim card today. Don't put it out. Today you have Mr. Owaisi coming out. No, excuse me. You have Mr. Owaisi and I have his... No, we have his remark here. Mr. Owaisi comes out and says that there was a big conspiracy now by this government because the ATS had proof. Suddenly the proof disappears. Well, sir, the proof hasn't disappeared. There has been miscarriage and you need to address this straight on. Colonel RSN is there.
That's why I'm asking, if there is a UPA government, there are proofs. If there is a NDA government, the proofs are changed. Are we playing with our security agencies?
Sir, this is in this particular case, sir. No, you're being very irresponsible with the facts. You're being very irresponsible with the facts, sir. This case did not hinge on prosecution witnesses. It hinges on the ownership of a bike, a motorbike, which was supposedly found in the possession of Sadhvi Pragya, but was a bike that was lent
from Mr. KTS Tulsi,
no,
who said that it is a bail, it is not the acquittal.
No, that doesn't matter. It's what the court says. Listen to what the court says. One of the main accusations against Sadhvi Pragya was the fact about the ownership of the motorcycle which was allegedly used in the 2008 Malegaon blast. This is what the court said. There is enough doubt about motorcycle. Sir, please.
The court has asked for a security.
Rahmani Sahab.
It's a 5 lakh rupee security the court has asked. It's not that the court has...
So that is a basic minimum requirement. This is a basic minimum requirement. This is nothing out of the ordinary. You know that certain conditionalities which are technical in nature are attached, but they do not in any way suggest that she remains a threat to the state or is a threat of flight and capital? Colonel RSN, I want you to come in on this point. Colonel RSN coming in on this point.
Even granting bail doesn't mean that the acquittal has been announced.
अरे भाई ये चुप ही नहीं होते ये. Now listen. I am here in the capacity of a security analyst. I carry out a very in-depth study, and so do you. Now, if you join the dots, I mean, all terrorist networks, either they are global or there is nothing below. I mean, or at least regional. So, if you see all terrorist networks, whether it is in Pakistan, all these Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Al-Qaeda, and IS, all
include the Madhya Pradesh terrorist network.
Just 1 minute.
Include the Madhya Pradesh terrorist network. The very last.
अभी चुप रहो यार. बोलना ही नहीं देता है. चुप
रहो. Let the other person speak. Calm down.
You cannot answer. You don't have an answer.
Rahmani Saab, let the other person speak at least. He never interfered. Did he interfere?
He is not a gentleman, yaar. What I'm saying is
only you are the gentleman in this country. You are only remained the gentleman in the country.
I don't speak. Did I interfere when you were speaking?
Yeah, just in a few seconds the nation will see who speaks and who shouts.
Mr. Rahmani, please.
अच्छा, अब तो शांत हो जाओगे? अब शांत हो जाओ. बात सुनो. मेरी बात सुनो. What I am saying is that at least there is a regional, if not global network, at least there is a regional network. We are all aware of Al-Qaeda or various, or JMB in Jamaat-e-Mujahideen in Bangladesh, or say Indian Mujahideen. None of the networks have disappeared. Have they disappeared? Each one of them have an objective. And one common objective is to establish an Islamic caliphate. So two questions I would like to ask, people, this Hindu terror theorists. What was the objective of Hindu terror? Is it to establish a Hindu caliphate? And secondly, by picking up a lady and an 80-year-old Asimanand, you suddenly destroyed the network. That network has disappeared. अरे किसको क्या पाप कर रहे हो यार? And then you had politicians.
का नाम लूंगा और शुक्ला जी का नाम लूंगा जो मध्य प्रदेश से ISI के बोर्ड.
अरे शुक्ला और अजय चौधरी तुम्हारा चाचा होगा. चलो बंद करो, चुप रहो.
आपको कहाँ है वो लोग? अरे कहाँ है वो लोग? उनका क्या ना आप जैसे लोग बोलते हैं. वो जब RSS के लोग पकड़े जाते हैं, जब ट्रेनिंग कैंप्स पकड़े जाते हैं मध्य प्रदेश में, राजस्थान में, उत्तर प्रदेश में.
रहमानी, टेल मी व्हाट वाज द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ हिंदू टेरर?
तो वो क्या करना चाहते हैं?
टेल मी.
और फिर मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ मालेगांव.
टेल मी व्हाट वाज द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ हिंदू टेरर?
किया. अगर कर्नल पुरोहित ने नहीं किया तो किसने किया था? मक्का मस्जिद किया था. उसको सामने क्यों नहीं लाया जाता? उन मॉड्यूल्स को सामने क्यों नहीं लाया जाता?
Listen to me. Malegaon 2008. Malegaon 2008 was created to facilitate 2611. Are you clear? Rahmani, there are people in Luton's Delhi who planned Malegaon 2008 to facilitate 2611 so that people of India could buy the theory of Hindu terror. Are you clear about it?
Okay, gentlemen.
Or do I need to shout?
Okay, 1 second. Gentlemen.
So now listen to me.
Now listen to me.
Now listen to me.
Apart from the heat on this debate, there are some valid questions.
The problem was
Rahul,
that Purohit had infiltrated very deeply into Lashkar-e-Toiba modules. I have the documents. He had infiltrated in many organizations, jihadi organizations, which ostensibly were carrying Hindu names. Organizations like Sadhvi Pragya. And because he had infiltrated, that is why Malegaon 2008 was created,
Okay.
fabricated
Okay.
to create the spectre of Hindu terror.
One second.
I could not hear the
Mr.
After the
Trivedi wants to
terror,
come in also. One
It could
second,
be
sir.
labeled as a handiwork of RSS.
Okay. Okay.
It was a political ploy to kill Narendra Modi,
Okay.
to kill the party that he belongs to.
अरे
So
नरेंद्र
don't
मोदी जी ने तो बांटा था,
try to
बांट
be
चुके हैं, बहुत नहीं बांट
smart.
पाएंगे।
Don't
नंबर मत
try
बढ़ाइए।
to be smart by half.
Okay. Okay.
जो
Okay.
बांटा था बढ़ चुका।
Mr.
नंबर मत
Trivedi wants
बढ़ाइए।
to come in, and then I want to bring in Mr. Tulsi on this. Please, let's calm down, gentlemen.
Rahul, I want to respond to what Mr. Rahmani has said. He has taken two significant points. Number one, he has said that there was some misuse, and number two has said we should not play politics with the security agencies. Yes, I agree. There can be some faults or mistakes or misuse, but there are a number of things which are misused. The Arms Act is misused, the Theft Act is misused, the Dowry Act is misused, the domestic violence is misused, the rape allegations are misused. You do not say do away with all this, but the problem of misuse comes when there is a structured political agenda by the government to misuse. As Mr. RPN Singh has said, that Malegaon might seems to have some design, because after 26/11, when the government of India was saying that Pakistan was involved and we were asking for Hafiz Saeed extradition, on the other hand, Shri Digvijay Singh was launching a book that 26/11 is an RSS conspiracy. In Samjhauta Express case, when initially all government agencies were saying this is the Pakistan ploy, the Karim Noorani's involvement was there, the US was saying that it was Samjhauta Express for the Pakistan operating hand. Suddenly our agencies changed, and then when go back towards Asiman and then others.
Okay, it's very
Very
lucky
strange.
that Ajmal
And
Amir Kasab
making
was
a
caught
mockery
live.
of
It is
security
very, very
agencies.
lucky.
Rahul, let me complete one sentence. The mockery of security agencies was in Ishrat Jahan case, when IB was saying that Ishrat Jahan is a terrorist, and CBI was saying that she was innocent.
Yes.
Sunnis destroyed.
So at that time they didn't.
That's why we have given
an
enemy to Pakistan. We have given a leverage to Pakistan.
I want to
Just
bring in
in
Mr.
order
Tulsi.
to
Excuse me. Gentlemen, 1 second. I want to bring in Mr. Tulsi. Sir, please.
Stream of Islam in Pakistan and in India.
We are very lucky that Ajmal Amir Kasab was apprehended alive, because otherwise the narrative would have been twisted in a very insidious way. I want to bring in Mr. Tulsi. Mr. Tulsi, yes, fine, let's not jump to conclusions, but your skepticism seems to suggest, sir, that you are actually convinced that these cases, concluding that there was something called Hindu terror or saffron terror, have a core of fact. Are you one of those who believe that there is something called Hindu terror, sir?
No, I don't know. There is terror is terror. Terror can have no color. When people called Khalistani terror, I thought it is wrong, because the terrorist has no religion. There is no question of Hindu terror or Islamic terror or any terror. Terrorist needs to be most decisively put down and dealt with under the law, given extreme punishment. I was also associated with the finalization of Tata Act, and I defended Tata Acts in the Supreme Court. I was prosecutor against Khalistani terrorists, or I'm sorry, terrorists in Punjab. So therefore, I want to correct one fact which one of the panelists said, that the first charge sheet was filed in 2011. That's not correct. First charge sheet against 14 accused was filed on January 20, 2009. Thereafter, when the matter went to NIA, again fresh investigation and all that.
But sir, I can tell you, and I can tell you with some, look, we might get 1 year wrong here and there, but I'll tell you something.
Into a kangaroo court.
No.
We can't.
Mr. Tulsi, there is no kangaroo court here. There is no kangaroo court, sir, please.
Should assume the role.
No one is assuming any role. No one is assuming any role. All I'm saying is.
That is Hindu terror.
No, 1 second. Mr. Tulsi, please.
Let's not play with the
Mr.
law.
Tulsi, today.
People will lose faith in the efficacy
Mr. Tulsi.
of law.
Mr. Tulsi, today we need to, no, 1 second, 1 second, sir.
Eventually
Mr. Tulsi, Remember that there is a background. In 2008, there were several politicians in the state of Maharashtra who were alluding to something called Hindu terror. You have been a part of the UPA. I don't remember anyone in the UPA coming out and saying that terror and religion should not be associated. The only time they said it is if someone came up with the construct Islamic terror or Wahhabi terror.
I was not part of UPA.
No, that became a problem. That became a problem for many people.
I was not part of...
The moment you talk about Hindu terror, people say don't draw a link. No, one second, sir. The moment people talk about Hindu terror, then it's okay to draw linkages. When people talk about Wahhabi terror, people say, no, terror knows no religion. So we need to get our facts right here. There was an orchestrated attempt. There was an orchestrated attempt to even get the RSS banned. And all of this was part and parcel of the narrative. Because people said, see, we told you, the greatest threat to this country. I don't know. The WikiLeaks have been made public. You know what the WikiLeaks have said. I'm not saying that the WikiLeaks are God honest truth. But at the end of the day, they're there. A lot of governments, a lot of people around the world have faced a lot of heat because of the WikiLeaks that came out. Some people even admitted that they were true. But I'm just leaving it at this because I've run out of time. Today we stand at a very vital crossroads in our narratives. And we have to... No, 1 second, sir. Please, Mr. Rahmani, I'm wrapping this up. And we have to remember only one thing. If you appease terror in whatever form, whatever shade, whatever color, you're going to end up only strengthening the enemy.
I agree with you.
Only strengthening the enemy. Let's start calling a spade a spade. We leave it at that. The news are coming up.